Alright, so before I start this video, I do need to make a disclaimer. So, this is for YouTube's bots. When I say IRL terrorists, I am not talking about in real life terrorism. I am talking about the music artists known as IRL terrorists. Alright? I want you to know that, you stupid AI clankers. And also, don't take me down for saying clanker. Man, YouTube is really weird. I'm sorry I have to do this, but, someone had to say it. Anyways, speaking of IRL terrorists, he's built up a lot of buzz for himself with singles like Hey Fake Cell and other singles that did pretty well. And he's managed to become a pretty sizable name in the underground incel-core scene and even the incel-core scene just in general as someone to kind of look on. Because he is admittedly pretty talented. And about 3 months ago, he released an album called Terror. And you may be saying, Kyle, aren't you a little late to this? Like 3 months late, as you just said? Well, yes, I am. But also, I don't really care. And also, on his last SoundCloud song, he seemed to be hinting towards some kind of big project in the works. So, you know what? This is actually kind of timely, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, let's dive right into this album review. And, it's alright. There's a lot of experimentation throughout the album. You kind of have your more standard tracks. You kind of have, like, a lot more, like, interesting stuff. You have some more, like, experimentation with kind of, like, brass instruments, like horns and trumpets on, like, songs like Hey Fake, the before mentioned Hey Fake Cell, and his cover of Take On Me, which, it kind of seems like a random song to cover for an incel core artist. You also have like some XO Willow type vocals on Floyd Go Away. You have a lot of different stuff on this album, which I can kind of appreciate the variety. Maybe not all of it lands, but I can definitely appreciate the kind of experimentation here. Probably my biggest complaint with the album, though, would probably be how quiet it sounds. Like, for Goy Slave, the intro track, for example, like, the chorus is, like, at a very decent, like, audio level, and the verses themselves are, like, noticeably, like, quieter for some reason, and that really kind of threw me off of the track. And definitely there is, like, another problem in there being, like, an emphasis on the verses themselves, or not on the verses, on the choruses themselves instead of the verses. The verses are kind of just there where the choruses are the main attraction, which, every album is kind of like that, but I feel like it is kind of affecting this one where the verses are kind of weak and the choruses kind of have to come in and save it. But it's not like that for every track. There's actually a pretty strong run from like 8 to 10. There's a pretty good 3-track run from 8 to 10, going from Postal to Plastic Surgery to What Only Shot. All being like pretty good songs, I would say. Probably my favorite being Plastic Surgery, just because of like how funny yet kind of sad it is. Kind of talking about people who are miserable and kind of depressed, but they think plastic surgery will kind of save them from that. You also have Only Shot that has a really good kind of infectious chorus. Postal, I think, is very interesting too because he has a lot of tempo changes. It has this one part with this really sick guitar riff, and then it kind of has this little slower part, and then it goes into this part with all these fast drums, which I think is a pretty interesting idea. Now, for tracks that didn't really land for me, I'm gonna have to go with the outro being probably my least favorite. Especially because the intro to that song is like, just kind of sounds like this very like loud, obnoxious beat with like this robot voice kind of mumbling behind it. The rest of the song does improve from there, but not really enough. It kind of feels like it wants to be like 4 or 5 separate things and didn't really accomplish any of it. There's also features on this album, which no insult to Girl Puncher or No GF Wave. By the way, I've found out this recently. Girl Puncher 2006 is in fact still alive, so that made me really happy. And he's also edited like a music video for Blah, so that was kind of fun. But anyways, yeah, we're going off topic. I didn't really think the features themselves were anything to write home about. I've enjoyed songs from both of the features, but I don't know. I didn't really think they were anything super special. There's also covers on this album too, to be specific. There's one of Hate Being Silver, which I believe I talked about in a video previously, where I kind of still have the same thoughts. I'm kind of bummed we didn't get like a cover of the verses themselves, because I was super interested to kind of hear what those would sound like, but yeah, I didn't cover the verses, but the chorus that he covered is pretty good in this song. And obviously Take On Me from earlier. Both pretty fun covers, but I probably would have taken his cover over Death by Cop. His cover of Death by Cop by Negative XP over both of them. I think it could have probably landed on this album pretty well. But overall, yeah, it's not a bad album. It didn't really blow me away either. It's definitely like mostly solid, I would say. So that's why I'm feeling like a decent to strong 6. But anyways, let me know what you think of this album. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. I don't know if I'm just like imagining that or it actually sounds kind of weird. I don't know exactly what's going on, but anyways, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and bye-bye.